awake with pride and I stretch my prayers right up beside the sky, and that's the God Preem without the Sue. But don't get it twisted up, he's still supreme to you. Bow Heights in the big city where we launch from, living in a skin placed under the gun, but on a straight path, never a detour. Surviving in life's paint, that's what we for. Taking a knee for synergy reset. Check out the energy we get. The 3-man plan help you come out change forever better. Mute the noise like a silencer, making a pistol hiss. See the blessings giving you a way to take a crisis in midlife, turn it to a chrysalis. As we got older, we talk healthier. Loud attitude, crave the be stealthier. We cooked up an oath, putting an emphasis on growth, with a friendship that won't budge. Every now and then out of place we get nudged, but we day one fitted, so we stay a day with it. Most won't get it, trying to live out their dreams without someone adding a nightmare. And owning the right pair to walk away from it, it's not fairly easy, so some do plummet. Gotta learn to evolve outside the lines. That's how I do it with mines. Tiger eyes under the eyelids at every single view is what I'm teaching my kids to skip around the queue. No longer waiting for plates, we used to starve, so we allowed to bite off more than we could chew. Hey yo, Preem, what you gonna do?
That verse was the calm, now here's the storm. That verse was the calm, now here's the storm. That verse was the calm, now here's the storm.
Well, that's true.
God's work to live amongst hurt, but stay planted in faith in straight form. It's a norm to have storms take position in skies, where uneasy waters indigenous to lies. But behold, there's gold tucked beneath the surface. Raised to be on point, but now we on purpose. Convert into a seed when rainy days come to leave lessons to learn from. No need to grieve for the death of the old you that ushers in change. Give birth to better versions for you to claim. The best weight loss is losing the opinion of others with a cross to nail to you for sinning. They throw stones so that your towel gets thrown in, but you let them see you'll forever be sown in to debate. And love has more stamina than hate, and showing them what we should choose to forsake. But knowledge isn't here to work on behalf of ego. Stormy weather moves through emotions of the people, and if they don't find a trace of what they feel in your face, they treat you like your actions aren't legal. But a cliff will never walk towards you for the fall, so plant firmly in where your knee goes to crawl, cause how you revel brings the devil to the past. So speak divine of God theory with no need to be high.
I speak divine of God theories. I speak divine of God theories, no need to be high.
Well, that's true.
All right, here we go. I'm here. Better late than never. All right, let's get into this. You know, we're going to be talking about Jesus Christ tonight, the created God for white people. But before we do, in Lord Amen I trust, and in Lord Amen I share this real truth with you. I'm your host, the intellectual Lord Benjamin Manhattan. My friends call me Buck. And tonight, I'm going to be discussing on Supreme American TV, Jesus Christ, the created God for white people. The created God for white people and of white people. So maybe you black Christians may be offended by what I'm going to say. I know you black Christians are going to be offended. We're going to probably get some Israelites that come in here and they're going to say that Jesus Christ is Yahweh Shai and that's a so-called black man and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, Jesus is not white. Jesus is a man of color. You know, y'all know all the stuff you hear, right? All the excuses to still follow that story, that made up story about some white dude or some guy, period. Y'all say he not white, but all the images say otherwise. Now, if you go in your Bible and read and whatnot about this supposed image of Jesus, look, I'm sorry to tell y'all, you Christians out there, I know this is going to hurt your feelings. I know this is the foundation of your faith. But for the sake of the young generation that's coming up, for the sake of the young generation who still got their minds intact, who are growing tired of childlike fantasy stories, for the sake of those people, the young generation, the thinkers, not the believers, but the thinkers, for the sake of them, I do this. For the sake of them, I expose this Jesus Christ character who is not real. This is a fictitious God. And like I said, he is a God that was created for white people by white people, right? A Greco-Roman God that is being worshipped here in America and all throughout the world today. The Jesus Christ character is a Greco-Roman God, Jupiter, Zeus, right? Jupiter, the Roman God, Zeus, the Greek God. Okay. And the Council in the Sea in 325 AD took all of those past gods, those fallen societies like Greece and Rome, they all fell, and took two of their most prominent mythological gods at the formation of the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church, and they took the Roman god Jupiter, the ancient Roman god Jupiter, and the ancient Greek god Zeus, and put them together, and there you get Jesus or Jesus, because you know the S and the Z are synonymous with one another. Okay, so this is where your character of Jesus Christ comes from. All right, he's a made-up character, never existed. Now, to a lot of the Christians, even as that revelation, I'm making this statement, which is out there now. It's not popular because you got a lot of people who are going to go and say, that's not real. Jesus does exist. Jesus lives, because I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my spirit. And it don't matter what you feel in your heart and your spirit. This is not about emotion. This is about logic. This is about logic. This is about reality. This is about, truth, real truth. So now that this God, Jesus, if you look up Jupiter and Zeus, now you notice that the character of Jupiter and Zeus look the same as Jesus Christ of today. Look up the character, the Roman god Jupiter. Look up the Roman god Jupiter and look up the Greek god Zeus. And then look at Jesus Christ next to him. It's the same person with the long beard, the white boy with the long hair and the beard. It's the same person. Same person. And this is what you black people are worshiping in your churches. I understand white people worshiping Jesus. That makes sense. It makes sense for white people to worship their own image. It does make sense. And I'm not going to take that away from them, because they know deep down inside Jesus is not real. They just believe that because they emotionally attached to the Jesus Christ story. So, of course, they're going to believe it. Plus, Jesus is a white guy. Jesus is white. This is what they were taught. This is what they grew up looking at. This is what they were raised on. Like Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. But it's not real. It's not real. But do you think these people care? No, they don't care. They don't care because of what it does to their stature in the world. What it does to the stature in the world of Caucasian people with this white God and this white Jesus, right? Who they put up in their churches to worship and praise and honor, even though this person is not real. They call themselves Christians after this person called Jesus. And they have many different denominations. Christianity is a Caucasian religion. Jesus Christ is a Caucasian mythological God. Straight up. Straight up. And that's what you black people are following in the church. And, it makes all the sense in the world, because if you notice with a lot of the Caucasian slave masters back then, they gave a lot of black men Greek names. They gave them a lot of Greek names, like my grandfather and great grandfather, they had the names Tobias and Claude. They had names like Claude is from Claudius. They would give people so-called black men names like that: Claudius, Claude, Tobias. Greeks, those are Greek names, or Greek sounding names, right? Those are Greek names. Now, where'd they get these Greek names from? Because a lot, Apollo, they would have names like Hercules. They was naming black men names like Hercules and Apollo and Ulysses. These are all Greek names. You see, these are all Greek, because they all that Greco-Roman society. A lot of those societies are connected. Those European societies are connected, and this is where they started giving these men these names, because they saw our men as strong men. So because they saw men as strong, hardworking men, more strong and more hardworking than them, they gave them names of Greek gods. Apollo. You guys see black men with names like Apollo, Ulysses, Hercules. You see, like in the movie, Rocky, right? Notice Rocky gave Carl Weathers the name Apollo Creed. Now, why did he give him the name Apollo Creed? You see, a lot of people don't understand why that name Apollo Creed. Why did he come up with that name? Right? Apollo is if I'm not mistaken, a Greek or Roman god. Apollo, I believe, is a Roman god. If I'm not mistaken. Y'all know, is Apollo a Roman god? Is Apollo a Roman god? Anybody look up Apollo. Is Apollo a Roman god or a Greek god? Let me take a look real quick. Apollo. Right. Greek god. Apollo's a Greek god. There you go. Greek names. Right? Is a Greek god. It's both Greek and Roman. Okay. So they would give bronze men those names because they saw bronze men as gods. That's really why they was giving them, and they loved the fact that they own these god-like men. That's why they gave black men those names, because they saw how hard they worked, they saw how strong they was, and they really was worshiping those. They was really worshiping our ancestors, even though they had them in bondage, because they were strong men. You see, that's why they gave them those names. You'll see a lot of old black men, old bronze men with those names, indigenous bronze men, Ulysses, Hercules, Apollo. But so, also, like, he gave Apollo Creed that name, Apollo Creed, in Rocky, right? He gave that to Carl Weathers, right? He gave that name Apollo, and the word Creed as in creed or color, like they said, with your creed or your color, as a like a black god in a sense, right? And what did they name the club in Harlem? The Apollo. They named the club in the Harlem. Why would they name it the Apollo? Where do you see black entertainers at? Because these were forms of worship to our people, but they had to hide it in a certain way. Because why would they associate us with those gods, those Greek gods? And obviously they have a worship for Greco-Roman mythological gods, and they just brought that into Christianity. And this is how you get Jesus Christ. This is how you get Jesus Christ today. And unfortunately, a lot of our people, that goes over their head. Like, notice also in the HBCUs, right? What do they follow in the HBCUs? They follow what? The Greek fraternities, right? Now ask yourself the question, why are black people in HBCUs following Greek fraternities? Why are they calling themselves Black Greeks? Why are they calling themselves Black Greeks? Why are they following a Greek fraternity system? Why are black men, so-called black men, bronze men, following a Greek fraternity system? That's, you see, answer, because a lot of these HBCU college grads who become boule, these are also the people that push that we African. You do know that the whole term African is also a Greek word too. You see the connection? You see how they push a Greek religion on us, a Greco-Roman religion on us, Christianity. They push these Greek names on us, right? They name us in slavery Greek names, a lot of the men Greek names, Roman names, Greek names. And then they do this thing with the whole was it the fraternities? They do the whole thing with the fraternities and with Africanism. Pan-Africanism is Greco-Roman. Where did the word Africa come from? From the Greeks. That didn't come from none of our languages. So whenever you hear these Pan-Africanists talking about the word Africa and African so much, ask them where the word come from. Ask them where the word come from. Yeah, his son Adonis Creed. Yeah, Adonis is a Greek god too. Why are they giving these names to black men? Why are they giving black men Greek god names? Because what they're showing you is that they are aligning their gods with the bronze men, who their idea of gods or supreme beings came from us, going back to the ancient Mesoamericans, going back to the ancient Kemites, all the same people. So their idea of a supreme being or higher beings came from us. This is where they created their mythological gods from all real divine deities and whatnot, which were really people that we were honoring. These were real people that we were honoring. And from there came a lot of their stories, right? Like you could trace the story of Jesus back to, what's the character's name? Aset and Aset and what's the is it Aset and Osiris or Aset and Osir? I forgot what it is in the ancient Kemetic thing, but a lot of these deities are traced back to our people. You see, Horus, yeah, thank you, Horus, yeah. But these things are traced right back to our people because they had no idea of what a higher power was. They didn't know what that was. We did. They got that from us, that there was something beyond this physical realm, that there was a higher power beyond this physical realm. That came from us. Which is why they attach these godlike titles to us. In sports, when these Caucasians go to these Caucasian males go to these basketball games and football games, they go there as a form of worship to the bronze men who are playing the sports. And they go there and curse them out and call them the N-word and things like that as a form of jealousy, as a fit of jealousy, because that's their ritual. They go there and hate on the bronze men who they look at really as gods because they wish they could do what they could do. They wish they had the athletic ability that they had. They wish they had a white LeBron James or a white Michael Jordan. You see, they wish they had a white Magic Johnson. They tried with Larry Bird, but that was a stretch. But my point is that their revenge for their worship of us is really to get us to worship their image, which is Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is not a real person. And the fact that you never hear about archaeologists or scientists. Oh, well, let me take that back. This is how you know a lot of their science is pseudo, because they actually had, remember they had how many of y'all remember the Shroud of Turin, where they said that this so-called Shroud of Turin, right, was the burial shroud of Jesus Christ, that this is what Jesus was wrapped in, right? This where's it, this cloth or something that was his body was supposed to be wrapped in. BS. And they had like these scientists, these archaeologists, something like, yeah, they was looking at the cloth and said, yeah, Jesus could have been. So what that's cap. That's cap. You don't think these people know that Jesus don't exist, that's not a real person. That's just a character that was made up by the council in Nicaea in 325 AD, the Catholic Church. You don't think they know that? They know that. That's why they don't attack the existence of Jesus. You never hear archaeologists try to debunk the existence of Jesus. Why don't they ever try to debunk the existence of Jesus or any of those characters in the Bible? They can easily do it. They stay away from that. They stay away from debunking Jesus and any of these other characters because of the power of the church, the power of the religious sector. That's why they won't never touch it. But you notice these archaeologists, they big on going and looking into this cave and that cave, trying to prove who was here first and this, that, and the third, but you can't find anything about Jesus, who millions of people are following this story. You can't find anything about Moses. You can't find none of these people's remains or whether they live. You can't find none of this. So if these people are co-signing on it or not saying nothing at all, that shows they're part of the charade too. The charade to get the world to believe that this Christ character is real. And you black people, like I said, y'all really are invested in it. That's so sad. So many of our people are invested. I can understand Caucasians being invested in the Jesus Christ story because it uplifts them. Jesus Christ, that character uplifts them. It's their image that they go to church on Sunday and look up to. It's their image that their children are seeing and whatnot. It's their image that they look up to and puts it in their mind that they are somehow a divine and chosen people because Jesus Christ is a white man that they made up. They'll sit here with a straight face. These racists, a lot of these what do you call these people? These alt-right Christians and all these other, they'll sit here with a straight face and tell you that Jesus Christ is a real person. They will sit here and tell you with a straight face that Jesus Christ is a real person and be ready to fight with you over it, kill you over it, everything, take your life because of a belief. Now they big on debunking things and talking about what's not real and what's not that and what's not. But when you debunk something, they have an emotional attachment with. They be ready to go to war with you. Over and again, they could y'all these white people, whoever else want to keep worshiping Jesus, you could go right on the head. You should. You white people, you Caucasians, you should continue. You Christians, you should continue to worship Jesus. You should. If you are a Christian, you should, because it may make you a better person to believe that you are connected to a higher power. I'm not here to argue neither one. We just know factually that there's no such person as Jesus. That's made up. And for you Israelites out there, or you black Christians who want to make Jesus into Yahweh Shai, like the Israelites did. No, brother, see, that's Yahweh Shai, brother. Yahweh Shai. There's no Yahweh Shai. If there's no Jesus, there's no Yahweh Shai. Nobody died on no cross 2,000 years ago. Cut it out, man. Nobody rose from the dead 3 days and 3 nights. Even though on Friday he's supposed to got put on the cross, Sunday he rose. That's not 3 days and 3 nights. Y'all don't even understand what the symbolism of that part of the story means. 3 days and 3 nights, 33. That's another story. That's masonry, man. So again, it is time for people to grow up. It is time for people to wake up and realize that fairy tales are not going to get our people to a space of divinity or supremacy. Worshiping the image of other people, which has been the biggest problem with our people, because we don't find divinity in ourselves. We look for divinity in other people. We look to be made whole by the belief of other people. There shouldn't be no such thing as a so-called black Christian. There should be no such thing, but y'all gonna do what you want to do. But there should not be a such thing as a black Christian. There should not be a such thing as a black person worshiping the image of a white Jesus Christ at all. But like I said, y'all gonna do what y'all want to do. You're going to do what you want to do, worship who you want to worship, even if you do it in ignorance, even if nothing is happening to, because a lot of people do that because it make them feel good. They like to believe there's some mystical, magical white man in the clouds is going to come down and save them and help them. And, which really what they say, they're looking for some white people to help them or a white person to help them. That's when they praying to Jesus and they looking for help from Christ and all this. They're looking for a white person to come and help them do something. That's what that means. They say, the hands, you rappers are a bunch of Sambos, but I know why y'all wear those crosses on your neck, those crosses, no white Jesus piece, because y'all got to show submission. You got to show submission, and you got to promote Christianity to your fellow black brothers. You got to promote the image, the worship of a white God and a white Jesus. That's part of y'all slave contracts. That's why you see these rappers, they always got the white Jesus piece on, like Kanye and all, and the cross. They got to promote Christianity as part of their obviously as part of their little deal. They got to push the worship of a white man to their people, push the image of a Caucasian to their people, push the white man as God to their people. Oh yeah. While sitting up here rapping about harming their own people, while sitting up here talking about doing something to their own kind, they sit up here worshiping the image of a white man, who they call God and Jesus and all that. That's how sick black people are. That's how sick black people are. I'm not saying do no harm to nobody. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying harm nobody, black, white, or anything. Don't harm nobody. But you so-called black people, you worship the image of Caucasian people because of that Jesus Christ image. That's why you will harm one of your own people, and these people will be trying to harm you, and you won't harm them because you look at them as God's people. This is why, and God is a white man, and that's how y'all see it. And again, I know you Israelites are sitting, oh, that brother don't know what he's talking about. He don't know nothing about Yahweh Shai. See in the Bible, brother, with Yahweh Shai and all that. Okay, where does Yahweh Shai exist outside the Bible? Show me where Yahweh Shai is. Where is he at? Where is he buried? Where's Yahweh Shai? They can't show you that because that story is tied to the Jesus Christ story. And they believe in the Jesus Christ story like they believe in the New Testament. Jesus Christ was introduced in the New Testament by the Catholic Church, who wrote the New Testament. and introduced Jesus Christ, a person with a Greco-Roman name. Go figure. The Roman Catholic Church introduced somebody with a Greco-Roman name. Go figure. And they wrote all this stuff, this text in the New Testament about Mark, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. I'm like, weird. These are not Hebrew names. There's a whole nother teaching, a whole nother doctrine. But you Israelites, y'all follow Christianity because that's Christianity. Y'all want to be part Israelite, part Christian. That's why I'm just call you guys Christian Israelites. You Israelites are just part Christian. You guys want to be part Christian, part Israelite. That's why I'm just call, like I said, Christian Israelites, because y'all believe in Jesus. You're supposed to be following the Lord, but you believe in Jesus. But like I said, for those of our people who are caught under that spell of white Jesus, for those of our people that worship that image, for those of you black women who drag your sons to church, and he's looking up at the image of a white Greco-Roman mythological god, and you sitting up here worshiping and on your knees, creaming in your panties over some damn white boy on a damn wall somewhere, some made up white boy. That's why a lot of y'all become those damn divestors. You see, y'all start winching it out because the first exposure to a white man, a superior so-called white man, is Jesus Christ. They promote him as God. And what does that do? That makes you so-called black women. Y'all got what I call the Florida Evans syndrome. You remember that on Good Times, Florida Evans, when they had the white picture of Jesus up and James Evans wanted to take it down and she wanted to fight tooth and nail. She ready to get in a fight with her husband over a picture of a white man hanging on their wall. And they living in the damn projects. They living in the damn projects, poor as church mice, could barely make it, and she want to keep up the image of a white man. The minute they put up a black man, they start getting money and things like this. They luck start turning around for them, and she was mesmerized by it. They was getting money. Everything was coming through for them when they put the black man up there. But she was like, oh, that's just going to be up there for a little while because Jesus is going to go right back up. The white man going to go back up on the wall so they can continue to do bad. You see? That's all they Christianity is a fishy doctrine. Black people push the doctrine and fight anybody who against the false teaching. Of course they do. You know why they do that? Because black people got a slave mentality. That's that slave mindset coming out. You see? That's that slave mentality. That's why they'll fight and defend Christianity and white Jesus and the belief in white Jesus. They will. They proud slaves. You got a lot of proud slaves out here. Because keep in mind, let me tell you something. When the black church was built on the plantations, on the slave plantations, that was the beginning of your black preacher. Your black preacher was born on the white slave plantations, and his job was to get the black slaves to worship the image of white Jesus, a white God, and thus worship the white master and not fight against or buck up or run away from the white master. In other words, they was raising up black people to be worship the image of white people through Jesus Christ. That's the only reason why they taught you Christianity, to worship white people. That was it. Because they taught that these white people that own you, these are God's people, and that y'all cursed with black skin. Yeah, see, y'all cursed with black skin, and you got to serve these white people because they're God's chosen people, because Jesus is white and God is white. And they raised people like that. This is why they was heavily into slave breeding on plantations, because they wanted to raise a slave class of people. And in raising a slave class of people, you have to indoctrinate them with this bullshit right here. You got to indoctrinate them with this BS, with this white Jesus, this Greco-Roman white Jesus, this made up character. And you got to tell them to worship it, because if you tell them to worship it, they by nature are going to worship the white people, because white people are just like white Jesus. And they're going to think, well, I guess I'm just cursed with this skin, and I got dark skin, and I got to, and I'm just meant to just work for white people for the rest of my life. That's how sick and demonic these people are, that they could push this to people. It's one thing for you to teach that to your people. And you so-called black reverends, y'all no different. Y'all nothing but an extension of the plantation preacher, man. Y'all are an extension of the plantation preacher. You are an extension of the plantation preacher that was teaching that garbage to our people. to worship the image of a white man, a Caucasian man, a caveman, a pale man called Jesus Christ, a made up figure, a false figure. You see, notice Umar Johnson and all these people will sit up here and say we wrong for saying we first Americans and that we indigenous. But why don't you have when the last time y'all ever heard any of these pro-black or black conscious people attacking Christianity or any of these these slave religions? When the last time y'all ever heard any of these black so-called pro-black speakers, influencers like your Umar Johnsons, you ever heard them attacking Christianity or saying why y'all following Christianity? Y'all ain't supposed to be following no white Jesus. Why you never hear Umar say that? You ever heard him say that? When last time you ever had these pro-blacks, red, black, and green pamphlets telling black people stop following Christianity? Christianity is a white man religion. When the last time you ever heard him say that? Huh? When anybody ever heard him say that? You ever heard him say that in the black conscious community that black people should stop following Christianity and Islam and Hebrew Israelitism, that black people should stop following that? They never say that, do they? When last time y'all heard them say that? They don't say that. They don't. But they really quick to tell us that we're not indigenous to America. We're not real Indian. Umar could get up here and tell us, see, that's the problem. Y'all don't want to be African and you don't want to be, because but he don't have no problem with Jesus. They don't have no problem with black people worshiping Jesus. Yeah, of course you never heard them say that, because if you believe you are African, then that means that you believe in the Greco-Roman god Jesus or Jupiter. You believe in that. I told you that you'll find that a lot of these people who are boulets, sambos, they get out here and they push Jesus Christ. And they'll push this Jesus person, but then they also, who is a Greco-Roman god, but then they also push that we African and we from Africa and we came on slave ships. They also push that, which again, the whole African thing and calling us African is a Greco-Roman connection. Y'all see the connection between calling us Africans and getting us to worship Jesus Christ? It's a Greek connection. It's a Greco-Roman connection. And this society, you know, these societies up higher ups, they're a bunch of sodomites. This society is formed in that sodomite energy. The higher ups in the society are sodomites. They boy lovers, you know, they PDF files, right? Ain't that Greco-Roman culture? Ain't that they Greco-Roman culture right there? Sodomites and boy lovers, right? When in the Jesus Christ story, did anybody recall Jesus Christ ever having a wife or a woman that he laid with? No. What do you hear about Jesus? He hanging out with 12 guys and they want 11 guys and they all washing each other's feet and they all hanging out together, but nobody got a woman. Ain't nobody gonna go visit a prostitute, nothing. Nobody want a whore. Nobody want to lay up. Nobody want to know. Nobody talk about a woman. But in the Old Testament, you hear about the old, like Moses and all them. They had wives, they had women, they had all these children. But then when strangely, we notice when you get to Jesus, he ain't got no women, he ain't got no children. Why is that? Why is that? Why don't Jesus have any women or children? But Moses, Abraham, and all of them, they have 2 and 3 wives and whatnot. They into polygamy, they got all these children. But when you get to get to Jesus, it's just dry. Just dry. Y'all ain't noticed that? Jesus ain't got no woman. He got a friend who's a prostitute named Mary Magdalene. They just friends, right? She's his platonic friend. It almost looked like Jesus Christ is LGBT. Let's just be for real. Because it ain't natural for a heterosexual man, not to want a woman. Now it sound like them prophets in the Old Testament, which obviously is based on black men. Let's just keep it real. Those prophets in the Old Testament, your Moses, your Abraham, those sound like old nigga names. Those are based on black men. Because you know niggas gonna have 2 and 3 women. You already know that. They're gonna have 2 and 3 women, a whole bunch of kids. That shit ain't changed. I got 2 wives and 5 children. Hello? About to have a sixth child. I'm about to have another son. That's right. I live my life as a living prophet. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yes, I do. I got 2 wives and 5 children. and we all live under the same beautiful home. Everybody got their spaces. But anyway, that's my life. But my thing is, how come Jesus ain't got no woman, no children, and whatnot? And like I said, them old school prophets, Abraham, Moses, Ishmael, them guys based on black men, so-called black men. You see, those are based on so-called black men. You could tell the Old Testament is more in alignment with black people. The Old Testament and the New Testament is more in alignment with white people. You see, the Old Testament, you could tell, is more in alignment with black people, meaning the law, the Israelites with the law. So that does, in a sense, apply to our people. Why I said it's based on the Israelite, is based on our people who were in ancient America, right? Ancient Kemite, ancient America. So our people did follow law and order because we had civilizations. We have the longest going civilizations in the ancient world that went for thousands of years. And you can't have civilizations go for that long without law and order. So obviously our people followed law and order. Obviously we follow law and order, unlike today. Why I say unlike today is because our people are unlawfully and disorderly around each other, with each other, in their relationships. There's no real law and order for our people to follow, no real direction. We don't have no real direction. Look at the church. You follow Christianity, ain't no direction, ain't no law and order in the church. They basically tell you can do whatever you want to do. And Jesus and God will forgive you later. You can go, and all that stuff, right? You could basically go and be a sodomite and pray to God hard enough, and God will be okay with it. God love a sinner. Jesus, all these people, right? Which makes sense because Jesus comes from the Greeks and the Romans, and you know what they was into. The Catholic Church, all them people, these are all European, Greco-Roman. So you know what they was into. That's their culture. Their culture is sodomy, PDF files, PDF filing. You know what I mean? PDFs. PDF files. That's their culture right there. That's their culture. That's all in the Catholic Church. Now you so-called black people adopted Christianity. That's up in your church too. You got flaming punks up in your church, right? Because that's okay in the Catholic Church. You could be you could be into that punk on punk activity over there, right? There's no law. There's no law in Christianity. There's no law. That's why it make me scratch my head when you so-called Israelites claim to believe in the New Testament. Y'all supposed to be only into the Old Testament. The New Testament is from the Catholic Church. And if y'all follow that, then y'all means y'all Christians. You Israelites are Christians. You Muslims who believe in Jesus are Christians. In fact, Christianity is what Islam is heavily influenced by the Catholic Church because Muhammad, right? The founder of Islam, the premier prophet of Islam, Muhammad, right? Arab, a white Arab. His wife name was Khadijah. She was a Catholic. She was a Catholic. The Catholic Church was around during that time. The Catholic Church was around before Islam. The Catholic Church was around before Islam. Okay, so this is why Muhammad, because he was so influenced by his wife Khadijah, who was 40 years old. She was like 15 years older than he was 25. She was 40. She was like 15 years older than him. She turned him on to Christianity, and it influenced him so much that he added Jesus, the character of Jesus, in the Quran. That's why in the they have a whole chapter dedicated to Jesus in the Quran called Isa ibn Maryam, which is Arabic for Jesus and Mary. Isa is Jesus, and Mary, Isa ibn Maryam, Maryam is Mary, right? And that chapter is dedicated to Jesus Christ and Mary, the Jesus Christ and Mary story, which is the foundation of what? The Catholic Church, aka Christianity. You see? Yeah, of course. Gymnasium, yeah, all that. That's their culture right there. They sodomites, and they bring that over there today. That's why, if you notice in a lot of those clubs, and a lot of those clubs, and those And those remember they didn't usually want black men in those clubs. They didn't like black men going in those clubs with white men. You know, those country clubs and things where they play tennis and stuff. They didn't like black men in there because they really was like they energy is real nervous around black men. If black men are not serving or working for them, their energy is real nervous around black men in social settings. If you notice that. And they also probably was like, well, if we're gonna be in the shower, what if we're in the shower when they see that, you know, we really do look like them Greeks and Romans and whatnot, which a lot of them do. They all pretty much do look like them Greeks and Romans, if you know what I mean. And then the bronze men come in looking like this, and they come in looking like that, and you know, so you know they're gonna feel some kind of way about that. Penis envy. You follow? That's really what's behind a lot of that angry energy and whatnot. That angry energy, that desire to get you to worship Jesus Christ, worship their image, worship their likeness. That's really what's behind that. You see, that's really what's behind getting people to worship that image of a Jesus Christ, and you know, and getting you people to be all into. Again, this is a false god, and if you follow a false god, then that means you false. You Israelites are not real because y'all made up that 12 tribe sign, and you made everybody on the 12 tribe sign from America except the real Americans, the so-called black Americans who you said came from Africa. That's how I know you Israelites are bogus, man. You black Hebrew Israelites are bogus, man. That doctrine is bogus, man. Y'all can't sit up here and talk about, oh, we acknowledge the Old Testament, but not the New. We acknowledge both the New Testament and the Old Testament. How? You know why they acknowledge the New Testament? For one reason and one reason only. You know why the Hebrew Israelites acknowledge the New Testament? Because y'all ain't supposed to be wanting to deal with the New Testament at all. But it's only one reason why they acknowledge the New Testament, because Jesus Christ was introduced in. Because Jesus Christ is in the New Testament. The crucifixion, the life, all that stuff is in there. If you cut off the New Testament, then there's no Jesus Christ character no more. But that's what it's supposed to be. Because y'all supposed to be about the law. You're not supposed to be about the worship of a person. You're supposed to be about the law. Y'all seem to forget that, but that comes from your Christian upbringing. And before y'all became Israelites, y'all was heavily invested in the Jesus Christ story. And that didn't change. He was raised up under your mamas, going to church. And a lot of you guys, when you created this Hebrew Israelite doctrine, you brought Christianity into it. That's why y'all wanted the whole Jesus thing, because y'all was just supposed to be like, we just following the law. We don't know about no Jesus and all that other stuff. Or even these other prophets. If the law is the law and the law is the law, man, that's what it's supposed to be about. It ain't supposed to be about the worship of no person. The law is supposed to be followed. Natural law and natural order is supposed to be followed amongst the Lord's people, man. The Lord's people, even the word Lord is another way of saying law and order. Lord, L-O-R-D, is law and order. O-R-D is order. The L is really for law. It's law and order. So in order to be a Lord, you have to follow and embody law and order, righteousness. You see, that's what that was supposed to embody. But because a lot of our people became corrupt and twisted off of Christianity, right? They forgot the law. Because there was a time where we followed law, man. We didn't follow no Jesus. We followed law. We followed natural law and natural order. That was our connection to the Most High, to the higher self, to the higher state of reality of who we are as that race of lords. We embodied law and order, and that's what raised us up above people. We had morals as a people. We had morals. We had principles. We had things that we just under no circumstance would not do. And this is why our people were, because we wasn't grimy people like that. When the Europeans came amongst us and they seen that we wasn't like grimy people or nothing like that, they looked at us as weak. But a lot of our people, they wasn't going for that slavery shit. A lot of our people weren't trying to hear that. And they weren't trying to hear no Jesus neither. They weren't trying to hear no Jesus, because that's what they used. You know, these racist Caucasians, these Europeans, when they came over here, they brought the Bible and the gun. They bought the Bible and the gun. They bought Jesus Christ. They bought Jesus, their Christianity and they bought the gun to back up Jesus, because the whole goal was to take your land and finesse you out of your land and stuff, and use Jesus as a way to finesse you. Use their fictitious character Jesus to finesse you. That was the way. That's the way they did it the soft way. If the soft way didn't work, then they was coming in with the guns. You see, but they all work together. You see, exactly. Law and order. That's what Lord really means. Lord equals law and order. A people who embody law and order. A people who are who are not doing what everybody else is doing, who are actually following law and order and principles and stand. That's what law and order represents. Okay, these guys don't follow no law and order. They follow a bunch of customs and traditions and whatnot. Oh, you got to wear a beard on your face. Why? Why? You can't tell me something's a law if you can't tell me why. There's also a law against cleanliness. A beard is not clean. Beards are not clean. You get all kind of dirt and dust and shit in your beard. You got to be washing your beard off. I want to have a clean face. This is called clean shaven. So if cleanliness is next to the Most High, as you say, godliness or the Lord, then why wouldn't I have a clean face? Why wouldn't I have a clean face? Why don't you guys just be honest with you? A lot of you guys who wearing beards and whatnot, because up under the beard, y'all look funny looking. And y'all feel y'all look funny looking. That's why y'all wear the hair all over your face to cover up your funny looking faces. That's how y'all feel. Well, I don't look funny looking. I look good without a beard. I used to have one when I was a Muslim, long time ago. I used to rock the beard and whatnot, but I never had no real heavy one, but I never liked it. It didn't feel clean. I like being clean. I like being clean. I like looking young. I'm 55 years old. Do I look 55 years old? I'm 55 years old. Be real. Y'all tell the truth. I look like I'm in my 50s. Y'all can say I at least go look like I'm in my 40s. Now, if I wore facial hair, that'd make me look old, man. I don't want to like no old man. I like being clean. I like to wash my whole face. I don't want that to get up under no hair and wash my face. Get out of here. Cleanliness is next to the Most High, man. You see the shining face. But my point is, yeah, early 40s. Thank you. I look like I'm in my early 40s. I'm 55 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm 55. I'm going to be 56 this year. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I said, I don't wear that shit on my face, man. I don't wear that shit on my face. I call it just like shit on my face. You know, looking like Father Time. You got guys who got beards on their face. If you shave the beard off their face, they take 20 years off. Why don't I want to look like an old man for white in my face? In my face. That's one thing I will say about Minister Farrakhan. Even though he in his 90s and whatnot, he could go for in his 70s. You know what I mean? He could go for in his 70s because his face will stay clean. I want to look younger than my actual age. Just got my hair cut today. I can still get a full haircut. Got my full head of hair. You know what I'm saying? Why I want to walk around with white shit all over my face? For what? Thank you. Yeah. I take care of myself. I got full head of hair. I ain't got no spraying shit. None of that spraying hair. Nah, I don't got no leave-in. I ain't got no filled-in hairline. My hairline is real, man. I take care of myself, man. I work out. You know what I'm saying? I was running today. So, again, that religion make you old. You ever notice that with black people in the church? They'll be young in the church, but church for it just age black people, especially the black woman. Church ages black people, man. It make them look old. You see? Church age. No, you have a young woman in the church. I remember I was talking to this girl in the church. Her father was a reverend, and she was in her 20s, but she always seemed like she was older than that. And I'm not talking about mature. I'm just talking about old. It was just always like she seemed older, her movements and everything. And that's from being in that old church energy, and that old church mindset, that old church environment. Don't tell me church don't age people. Church don't age black people. All right? Because they got you sitting around eating that slave church food. That slave food, that church food, got you sitting around eating that garbage, right? Yeah, it do. The beard do make you look old. Facial hair make you look old. I don't want to wear no mustache on my face. I had mustache and all that, goatees and all that other stuff, man. I was like, the hell with that, man. I ain't gonna be trimming that shit. I like clean my face off, keep it moving, man. Get my hair cut. And that's it, man. Yeah, I don't want to look old. I don't want like no old man. I don't want to be overweight. I don't want to. You guys sit up here and talk about, yeah, brother, you supposed to have a beard on your face, and you supposed to be. Why? Cause y'all wear beards on y'all face. Half of y'all can't even grow no beard on you. If I could grow a whole beard on my face, a whole one, you know. But I clean my face off because again, I don't want to look like Jesus. I don't want to look like Jesus. No, thank you. And Christianity will tell you that smoking this, something's wrong with smoking this, right? They could drink alcohol, they could drink wine, but you can't smoke no bud, right? Certain people will sit up here and say, brother, why you got to smoke, brother? Because I like to smoke marijuana, because I do. That's something indigenous people do. I'm an indigenous man. I'm a first American man. And you know, we like our bud. We like our, this is not tobacco. This is, you know what this is. Low THC. I actually bought this low THC, just straight cannabis. I like it. Nothing wrong with cannabis. It's an indigenous thing. First American thing. You know? Right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It itch. That's how you know it ain't supposed to be on your face. It itch. You be itching your face and whatnot. And then you think about it, look crazy. You walking around with hair on your face. That's like some animal shit, man. Don't that? You walk around hair all over your face, hair up on your upper lip. That's like some Cro-Magnon man shit. I'm gonna walk around with hair on my lip. You see, I'm walking around with hair all over my face. Because again, they don't like how they can't wear. They have a lot of these guys got to wear facial hair, like Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey got to wear a mustache. You ever see how Steve Harvey look without a mustache? He got to wear a mustache. He has to. You see, like a lot of these guys, they got to wear facial hair. It's not because it's no law thing. They got to because they don't wear no facial hair. They look funny looking. You see, but for us guys that don't look funny looking, we ain't wearing no facial hair. Yeah. All right. You know, it relaxes me. Marijuana relaxes me. These same people tell you can't smoke marijuana, but you could drink alcohol. And these same people go and get in car accidents and unalive people and stuff like that. But they don't have no prohibition on alcohol, but you could drink alcohol, but you can't smoke marijuana in certain places. You see, that was meant to really deprive us because they know we like our bud. They know we like to relax. We ain't over doing it crazy, but that was really just to work against us. So, but anyway, y'all know that the First American Street Music Festival is coming. You know, I always got to shout out FASM Fest. The First American Street Music Festival is coming May 16th, May 17th in Rodney Cook Senior Park in Atlanta, Georgia. We want y'all to come out. I'm gonna be out there running my mouth for 2 days. I'm gonna be out there teaching class. So that's enough right there for y'all to donate. Everybody got to donate. Yo, break us off something for the First American Street Music Festival. Break it off because this is for us. We are putting on the First American Street Music Festival. Our community, the Republic of America worldwide, we putting on the First American Street Music Festival, celebrating our First American heritage. And we would like you all to be a part of it. Everybody in listening in earshot who acknowledge that we are first Americans of America, not Africa, not none of this other nonsense that we indigenous only to America, which we are, Black Americans, so-called Black Americans, bronze people. Go to FASM Fest, FASM. Go right there across the line, FASM Fest, FASMFest.com. Go to FASMFest.com. Go to the Cash App, which is $ ROA Collective, and make a donation to the First American Street Music Festival taking place May 16th and May 17th. I want y'all all to come out, participate. If you want to perform, come out and perform. If you want to get a booth out there selling something, contact my assistants through the First American Street Music Festival site, FASMFest.com. Reach out to us, donate. Let's make this happen. Let's have a place where we come to celebrate who we really are as First Americans, where you know, the Arabs go to Mecca. The Arabs go to Mecca to celebrate Allah and their Arab culture and Islam, they go to Mecca. The Jews go to Israel to celebrate their Jewishness. They made their own word, their Jewishness, their Jewish heritage, right? They go to celebrate that in Israel, right? They go over there and celebrate that in Israel. So what do we have? What do we as so-called Black Americans have to celebrate? Where should we go? What should we go to and look at as a pilgrimage? Because I want y'all to look at the First American Street Music Festival as a pilgrimage. I want y'all to come from all over, wherever you are. Come, we're going to be out there for 2 days. It's going to be live music, right? It's going to be live music. It's going to be DJ out there. It's going to be trail rides out there. Going to have the bouncy house out there. It's going to be a family event. We're not going to have nobody up there performing, saying dirty stuff and whatnot. It's going to be a clean show. I'm going to have my fashion show going, my clothing line. I'm introducing my clothing line, Lord Manhattan, upscale leisure wear. So it's going to be a very beautiful and big event. I'm looking forward to it. We want y'all all to come out and be out there running my mouth. We're going to have apparel out there, the American Indigenous apparel out there. First American Apparel is going to be out there selling T-shirts and merch. We're going to have Unlimited Epics out there. I'm going to have my epic book series out there on the Herc, all the Underlord, all the new characters is coming out. We're going to have that out there. We're going to have the feathered head crowns out there, the ones that go up in the air. We're going to have some good ones out there, some good feathered head crowns for sale. So get ready to spend some money on a good one. Because we don't have the ones that go down is really not ours. The ones that go up is more ours. That's the American Indian one. The ones that go down is the Native Americans. We ain't got nothing to do with the Native Americans. That's their thing. Our thing is the feathered head crowns to go up because we the real American Indians, the real American Indigenous, first Americans of America, and we're celebrating it. We are celebrating it. We're the only people that's doing something like this today, celebrating our American Indigenous heritage. You say celebrating our first American heritage. Openly celebrate. Well, I'm not gonna say it's other people doing things here and there, but we should be supporting everything. We should be supporting anything that's put, because so many people working against their truth of who we really are as First Americans. We need to be working for the reality of who we are as First Americans by supporting things like this, the First American Street Music Festival. We need to be supporting this. You see, because this is us. This is us. All right. So please donate to the First American Street Music Festival. Please donate to that. If you want to perform, if you want to do whatever you want to, sponsor something. Again, this is going to be filmed each day. It's going to be live streamed. We're going to be putting on TikTok, YouTube. We're going to be live streaming it. This event, the First American Street Music Festival, celebrating our first American heritage as Americans of America, the only real Americans of America, indigenous to America. We ain't come from no place else. We were always here. So we celebrating that reality. Also, if you acknowledge that you are first American, I'm talking about you people, acknowledge that you are first Americans of America. You could be in the West Indies. You could be in wherever you are. And you have American heritage, indigenous American. I'm talking about bronze, so-called first American heritage. We're not talking about the Native Americans. That's the Mongoloids. We're not talking about them. We're talking about us. If you acknowledge that we first Americans, because we use that term first American, we don't really say American Indian or indigenous no more because we don't want to be linked with the Native Americans. So we say first American, which is the same thing as indigenous American. So if you acknowledge that you are first American, join the Republic of America worldwide. We need our own American community within the United States of America. We need our own American community for our people, just to do for our people, so we can stop asking the government to do for us. We need to stop asking people, white people, to do for us. We need to get off of that, man. We need to get off of that. We don't need to be asking white people or the government to do nothing for us. I agree with reparations, but are we going to sit around and wait for it? No, we should not sit around and wait for no reparations. If they give it, fine. If they don't, so what? Life goes on. We're going to continue, and we should move as a community to make our lives better. That's because that's what it's all about, making our lives better as first Americans. You see, so if you acknowledge that you are first American, join the Republic of America. Go to roaworldwide.com. That's roaworldwide.com. Become a registered member, a registered first American in the Republic of America. Go to phasmfest.com and, give a donation. We need your support. We're raising $24,000. We're at the $10,000 mark. We need another $14K. Let's make this happen, y'all. Come on, let's make this happen. We need another $14K. to make this happen. So let's do this. Putting on these things are expensive. Also, subscribe to this. Give me a thumbs up on this. If you like what's being said, give me a thumbs up on this. Also, go, Supreme American, subscribe to it, share this, share this, cast. Also, go to my other channel, the Buck Manhattan channel. That's my channel over there, the Buck Manhattan channel, where I talk about all things dealing with pop culture and what's going on over here. Here I talk about the American indigenous stuff. On my other channel, I'm going to set up I'm going to be talking about future prophecy and things, events that take place and what's taking place in the world. That's coming soon. That's channel 6666 coming. The Judgment channel that's coming. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be dropping things live on there and dropping recordings. So, and check out the American Indigenous channel with Sister Enra Vanzetta Mentangelin. Check out her channel, the American Indigenous channel. Go subscribe to that on YouTube. Also, become a patron. Become a patron of my Mentellect Patreon channel. I got a Mentellect Patreon channel, Mentellect, Mentellect Patreon. Go to my Mentellect Patreon channel. Right? Become a patron. I'd say things on there, talk and teach class on things I can't talk about on here. That's my nightly cast, which I do on StreamYard, but I put it over there on Patreon afterwards. What else? Go to Unlimited Epics, my site, Unlimited Epics, where I got my characters up there. Unlimited Epics, order you books, and we're sending out your books and whatnot. Almighty Herc, one of our characters, Almighty Herc. The Mysterious She-Fly, the Fearsome Underlord is about to go up there, and the Unstoppable Thug. These are all characters that came from me, and I am sharing with you. Also, go to unlimitedepics.com. All right, buy a book, support, and my Lord Manhattan site is coming. LordManhattan.com. That's coming. But I want to thank you all for hanging out with me. I got to get ready to go do my cast, my American Mentellect Radio. So I'm about to close this out. In the name of Lord Amen, by the power of Lord Amen, I sign off. I am the intellectual Lord Benjamin Manhattan. This has been Supreme American TV. See y'all back here next week. I might come in here and do something. What I want to close with. I took a chance on that, but I'm gonna take a chance with this. Redman.
Yo, I stay real. I gotta pay bills. I be a pusher man. Just call me Curtis Mayfield. I draw like Picasso. Red Billy Blanco. I made it. I'm like Mitch Green. Did it when I close. Meaning I'm a rhyme fest. Rhyme fest, what up? My career is in 5th gear and I'm near the clutch. I'm riding for my home team. Strapped like I'm Bo King. Making sure them youngins keep their eye up off of my chain. Big city militant. Jay Dilla diligent. Blacking out like Eminem. These kids love my riddle and I'm bad. My character, textbook of a winner. I'm shutting the lights off when I talk. It's Jimmy Lennon, it's Redman, bruh. You ain't gonna hear me on the radio. Yo, I'm too explicit for the radio. You don't get airplay with bars out of San Quentin. Word up, that's why I keep a grill on my cameo. Look at them, these little niggas, they ain't learn nothing. That's why I'm mean mugging, creeping like Eileen cousin. Fighting with a pen and pad, I got the art of war. I'm up like them quad wheels out in Baltimore. Redman, fuck the world, make a meme out of James Bond with the phone so I can screenshot him. Lyrically suicide, I'm on my Steve Jobs. Even the amputee hand trying to give me 5. Man, yo, we be moving over here. Yo, we be moving over here. You see a boss over here, nigga. Yeah, I don't play games. I'm trying to stay alive. So run and tell JJ I'm dynamite. Yo, we be moving over here. Yo, we be moving over here. You see a boss over here, nigga. Yo, I don't play games. I'm trying to stay alive. So run and tell JJ I'm dynamite. I'm dynamite. I'm dynamite. I got the dynamite. The dynamite. Yeah, cause we be moving over here. Lyrical heroin. Fuck what they moving over there. Talk shit. These niggas they get put in urgent care. I don't judge them, I just listen to these rappers to be fair. But it's nothing to compare. I give you a whole buzz a year. That shit you rap about when we met, it wasn't there. Where your guns at, nigga? Where your Tupacs, Biggies and puns at, nigga? Where your funk docs, meths, iron lungs at, nigga? Got my goons watching like, yo, who brung that, nigga? Your career over fast, unsung that, nigga. Trey 8 black mask, bung that, nigga. Knife wound, chest open, one lung that, nigga. It's Donnie, Silver B. Bobby Bachelor. I hate how they be acting. If you a sucker, then the suckers you gon' be attracted. Yeah, this that 54 show. This that band from TV. This that reservoir flow. This that dope money. Chic, Luge, Edgar Allan Poe. Yo, I got weed and brown liquor for your baby mama. I voted for her 8 years like I did Obama. Call of Duty in the Sprinter on my way to Reno. Peeky out like I'm rich while I drink Pinot. Yo, Doc, cause we moving over here.
Yo, we be moving over here. Yo, we be moving over here. You see a boss over here, nigga. Yeah, I don't play games. I'm trying to stay alive. So run and tell JJ I'm dynamite. Yo, we be moving over here. Yo, we be moving over here. You see a boss over here, nigga. Yo, I don't play games. I'm trying to stay alive. So run and tell JJ I'm dynamite. I'm dynamite. I'm dynamite. The dynamite. The dynamite. I'm dynamite. I'm dynamite. The dynamite. The dynamite.
Hey man, kick a little something for all them cars that got the woofers in the trunk.
Let's give them something they can ride.